Welcome to your Regional Emergency Operations Center. I think we're so very fortunate in the region that we have an interlocal agreement between the City of Sparks, the City of Reno, and the county that says when disasters occur, we stand shoulder to shoulder as a region. And as I believe you are aware, we are in the midst of a series of storms. An atmospheric stream, the Weather Service terms it, sometimes known as a Pineapple Express. Clearly, we don't have the same conditions that we remember from 1997 with deep snowpack, reservoirs full, saturated soils. But despite that, we do have some interesting weather conditions that will cause the river to rise. And the river at the Vista gauge is predicted to move to above 19 feet on Sunday. When things like that occur, when we are within 48 hours of flooding, then we as a region announce that we are at issuing a flood warning, and certain activities and actions take place, and that's why you're all here today. Along with the water event, you're noticing that we're experiencing some high winds. The winds were very strong last night, and the Weather Service predicts that late Saturday night into Sunday, we'll again have very strong winds with this system. And they've used the term potential record winds. So certainly time to batten down the hatches. So we're facing a water event that is predicted to cause the Truckee River rise above the banks at the Vista gauge, as high as 4 feet above the banks, and we're facing very strong winds. And so at times like this, a message that we're urging is if citizens and business owners faced flooding in 97 or certainly the 2005 event, if you had water on your property in those events, you should take prudent measures because there is a strong likelihood that you will have water on your property this time as well. The Weather Service has termed this a 25-year event for our region. So to that end, we are activating the Regional Emergency Operations Center and taking a series of actions. And the first step to talk about those series of actions will be our public works officials. Then we'll have information from law enforcement, sheriff's office, and we'll move to our elected officials. So I will be followed by public works.
John Flansburgh, City of Reno, Public Works. So working with our regional partners. Some of the actions that we've taken to date are the sandbag locations that we've set up. We have 3 locations. We have Idlewild Park, First Street at Riverside Drive, and also the parking lot at the Governor's Bowl off of East 4th Street. We're also working with the AGC Contractors Auxiliary. We have them set up for bringing in equipment on our bridges downtown so that we can remove the debris out. That's one of the areas that we have had concerns in the past. When that debris is in the way, it creates a higher flood level than it would be otherwise. We also are concerned about our tributaries, our irrigation ditches. So we have had crews out monitoring those, ensuring that they're clear of debris, that they'll have the most capacity that they will be able to hold, and also making sure that all the drainage ditches or irrigation ditches that we have, that all the appropriate what we call dumps are in place. So those bypass areas that go right back to the river, so we aren't picking up water from the river and then carrying it out into the community, but we're actually putting it right back in the river where it belongs. Those are the actions that we are taking, working closely with our partners in Sparks and Washoe County to ensure that we have the needs of the region covered. I'll turn time over here. Armando.
Thank you for your time. I stand before you representing our multiple law enforcement agencies in this area. to tell you, for us, it's going to be business as usual. But what we see during these times of inclement weather is people who more likely should stay indoors and stay off the roadways, go out and chance it. What we want you to know is there is going to be standing water on the roadways. In the dark, some of these puddles may freeze over. Be very careful. With these high winds, there may be some debris in the roadway. We also want you to be careful. There's been that message about not doing texting, just the distracted driving, the impaired driving. Understand that these are this is the weather that we can't predict. We foresee it. It's coming. It's imminent that winds and rain is coming. Be careful on the roadways. Accidents, things that can be preventable, avoid the roadways at all possible. Your local law enforcement agencies will be out enforcing traffic laws, responding to calls for service, but just understand that this does put extra stress on our law enforcement agencies when there are several accidents to respond to. Also, with the debris on the roadway, minimal visibility because of the wind and the darkness. Be prepared. Be safe on the roadways. Watch out for any type of hazards and report them immediately. At the Sheriff's Office, and I also want to introduce Barry Brode from Animal Services to talk about some of the precautions that we have about animal safety and your pets.
Hello everyone, my name is Barry Brode. I'm the Animal Services Manager for the Washoe County Sheriff's Office. As you're aware, we have a potential flooding coming up in the Sparks area. At this time, it's determined to be Sparks High School will be the evacuation center. Animal Services will be positioned at that place as well. During this high wind event that we're expecting over the next 48 hours, fences do blow down. Please keep your pets inside. If you cannot do that, ensure that their collars have their licenses and rabies tags on them. And hopefully your pets are microchipped. The Animal Services officers in the field will do everything they can to return your pet to you without bringing them to the shelter. Thank you.
Thank you, and I'd like to introduce the Sparks Mayor, Gino Martinez.
Thanks, Armando, I appreciate that, and I want you all to know out there that this is a regional effort. It's not just Sparks, not just Reno, it's not just the county. It's all three of us here, shoulder to shoulder, standing up here and doing this. Jointly, we have all declared a state of emergency, which will give us some access to some state resources and those kind of things, should we need that coming down the road. So I think every time, not every year, but every time we have one of these events, we're better prepared than we have been in the past. So we are well prepared in Sparks. We have 11 stations for sandbagging and those kind of things. We do have personnel standing by there, not to help you fill up the sandbags, but to show you how to fill up a sandbag should you need them, or if you have questions about how to fill up sandbags and how to place them at your business. But like Aaron said, if you got flooded in 2005, then you should probably be prepared to do that, especially in the industrial areas where it's going to be the worst. We've got a couple areas that we may have to evacuate. So if you get a policeman at your door asking you to evacuate, please listen up and do what they tell you. The evacuation center, like was just told to you, is going to be at Sparks High School. Should be open tomorrow, I believe by noon, I was told. So if you need that resource, it's there for you. So again, stay off the roads if you can. Stay off the river paths. Stay out of the parks and recreation areas in the city of Sparks that are right next to the river. If you go down a highway or a street, I should say, if you go down a street somewhere in Sparks and it's covered with water, don't walk in it, don't drive through it. There could be a manhole cover that popped up and you might fall right through it. So be aware of that. There could be sewage backups and those kind of things. So the water could be tainted. So please be very, very careful and stay out of those areas. We do have some information on our website, www.cityofsparks.us. We'll show you the 11 areas we have sandbags and where they can be taken care of. We have plenty of sand, we have access to sand, we have plenty of sandbags. Also, if there's some information that you need, please call us at City of Sparks. That number is 353 5555. Again, 353-5555. And again, if you don't have to be out and about, stay away. We have public information people, we have public safety people, we have them out there that are going to be taking care of business, and we don't want you to get in their way. So again, be careful out there, stay away from the river. It could be a dangerous situation. And now I'll introduce County Commissioner, or Chairman Bob Larkin.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and I want to reiterate, my name is Bob Larkin, I'm the Chair of the County Commission. I want to reiterate what Gino Martini, Mayor Martini just said about a joint effort. This is, we've been tracking this storm for some time, starting with the National Weather Service. This is not a surprise. This should not be a surprise to anyone in the community, as this is a well-publicized event that's coming, the water as well as the wind. What we do want to emphasize, however, is as far as the joint operation, is that all three governments are working together for the safety of the citizens of Washoe County, every area within Washoe County. I also want to caution folks that may have been around the last 10 years and have been through the 1997 flood, the 2005 flood, that may view this flood as a recurring event of some magnitude along with those. My caution is this, is that each one of these flood events is separate, distinct, has its own character, has its own personality. Be careful, be cautious. These are not reoccurring events. Each one of these storms is different. It will have different areas that will be flooded. Standing water should be avoided. Any standing water should be avoided, as you won't know what the depth of that water is, nor what the source of that water may be. So be very, very careful about approaching any areas of standing water. I also want to reiterate that the area is going to become very, very saturated. The soil is already saturated, and so overland flow in areas that previously were not flood prone may become flood prone, such as at Steamboat Creek, some of the Sparks industrial area that we mentioned, but also in some of the outlying areas in Spanish Springs, the North Valleys, Golden Valley, some of those areas that may have not flooded before, may flood because of the high wind event that may also occur. So be cautious, citizens of Washoe County, and always, 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 when you see water, seek higher ground. That should be the watchword for Washoe County. Seek higher ground if you see water. And now I would like to introduce the mayor of Reno, the Honorable Bob Fisher.
I just want to commend our staffs for doing what they're doing, being organized and moving forward and putting it together, and everybody working together. I commend you for that. I commend the cities and the county working together, putting this together. They're very well prepared. I just want to reiterate that in Reno, we have sandbags at Idlewild Park, First Street at Riverside Drive, and the parking lot at Governor's Bowl. The only thing you need to bring is your shovel. Bring a shovel with you to help you. People to show you how to operate it if you don't understand how to operate it, but they will work with you. And if you don't need to get out, stay home. Stay home. You don't need to be driving around to look and see what the water is or how it's doing or where it's flooding. Because yesterday I'm driving along the river looking at it and I thought, this looks like summertime. Then I started reading what you put out and I thought, 10 feet, how's it happen? It will happen. It happened before, it'll happen again. So stay home, you don't need to be out, and don't go driving through any puddles or anything, because you will be floating around. If you don't, you're going to get in trouble. So thank everybody, thanks to all the governments working together, all of our staffs working together, and I think this community can be very proud of all of our staffs working together and taking care of the citizens. Thank y'all very much.
Our elected officials and public safety officials are available to work one-on-one with you. One, to remind everybody of floodawareness.com. Great resource to get up-to-date information.